she still hates him at the moment. I think that, you know, they're going to be forced to work together at times. But, you know, I don't know if they'll be able to reconcile. There would have to be, I think their relationship would have to move forward. You know, there's not enough that she's seen of him for her to care about him, and vice versa. You know, at the moment I think they're useful to each other at times, and that's the warmest I can get with it, you know. But it's an interesting dynamic to play. Again, I've had some stuff to do with her recently, and I'm blown away by how good she is as well. She's like, what, 18 or something? It's like so ahead of the game. Like, it's really a fun dynamic to play, and I like that we have someone much younger on the show as well. So so we can do that. But yeah, I don't know. I think they would have to go through some sort of event together that would bring them closer together, something like that. But at the moment, no, I think they're still very much at odds. You know, like, I think it's going to be, well, it's going to be interesting for a start because of Esther always being, you know, and I think he's written her off, and he's, you know, got a very polarized view of Esther, going, she's this evil, wretched woman who's ruined his life, and so if we start to learn that Esther had motives behind what she did, and her motives were good, she was doing bad things for good reasons, just like Klaus has learned to do, you know, it's a great example of a child sort of subconsciously learning from his parents, then maybe it will help him to understand a little bit more what Esther did, the choices she made. Also, I think he's going to try and, you know, like he does, get ahead of the threat that she poses, like get on top of that and find a way to deal with her like they've dealt with every other enemy, you know, by coming together. And the strength they have really is in the fact that they are a family. They're at their strongest when they're united. And so I think that can't be called into question really by any of them now. And so I think that's what they're going to be looking to do. They're going to have to put their differences aside in order to come together against, you know, Dahlia, if and when she makes an appearance. I don't know. You know, I think if he took the whole city and he was king of the city with no one disputing it, and he made the whole place safe for Hope, then he would be utterly bored. He welcomes the challenge, and I think he's a warrior, you know, he likes to be in the fight, and so as long as he feels a sense of purpose, as long as there are people who have been wronged, who give him the excuse to go after those that have wronged them, then he's most happy. You know, coming to New Orleans and having Marcel having taken the throne and having that sudden challenge of like, I want this back, I want to take this from him, you know, I think that he relished it, and so I really don't know what the end game is for him. I think if he got to any place where he started to feel happy, his internal programming would force him to mess it up for himself. And with any romantic interest he's ever had, with all of his siblings, you know, yeah, potentially with Hope in the future, I'm sure he's going to find some way to make her hate him, you know, even though I'll hate that, I'll hate him for doing that, but you know, yeah, I feel it's in his nature, unless he can really learn from all of it, and you know, unless there really is a chance for redemption for him, then maybe with her he can finally get it right. I think that's what I'd like to see. You know, I think it's the closest we've been for a while to being a happy family, I would say. It's, you know, those of us who are on the same side at the moment, who are allied, you know, are together, and we're in a safe place for a moment all together, and we try our best to do something very human and create a happy memory, even though it can't last. And hopefully, you know, it certainly felt like it'll be you know, a couple of really heartwarming moments in that episode, and yeah, I hope that comes across. It felt like that when we were filming it, and I feel like they need that as well, because there's so much intensity and drama, and the show, the buzzword is epic, you know, for the show. It's like it really needs those human moments, and those moments when we see these you know, these broken creatures are just people wanting to connect with each other and to feel loved, and we allow them those few moments, I think, in the Christmas episode.